I had about 2 days worth of driving rain, and got a little bit of snow last night. Not much, as you can tell from around me here. So basically, I do not want to take anything to chance here. I do not want to have to go out and find more tinder. So I've got a bunch of different stuff. I have some birch bark in my pocket that I picked out of a tree. I have a bunch of pine smalls right here. I have some grass that I grabbed. And here's some more pine. And I have some other sticks over here on the other side of me that you can't see. So the thing that you run into is, with rain and everything like that, and snow on the ground, it may be hard to find stuff that's this size that's somewhat dry. And I just wanted to split this piece down here and just sort of took a couple feathers on it just to see, how good it was before I started splitting it down even more. I figured it was good just judging by the sound of it. Almost sounds like bowling pins. Probably can't hear that too well, but so it is maple. And this here is just a big chunk of bark that I pulled off a dead tree, and I have a few good-sized logs underneath. The issue you might run into with having some big logs underneath is if you don't keep it stoked on top, those big logs on the bottom will completely sap the heat out of your small fire. So you have to make sure that you're feeding this very, very well. But I wanted to get this up off the ground. Even though I did scrape some of the snow away, the ground is still really, really wet. Pull out all the punches if you have to. Wind's gonna blow my flame off the base of my fire here. Ah, what a good smell. I can smell that pine starting up. And any of those tinder that I gathered there, you could use your char cloth or your ferro rod. Good rule of thumb is that when the flame is over the wood that you have on, you can throw on more. Otherwise, you sort of risk snuffing your fire out. See, I have flame rising up real good around the outside of it, but not too much in the middle. So I'm just going to wait a second or two here and throw some of this other material on. There we go. So I do have a little bit of a gap between my fire and that so-called reflector. I may add to it, I may not. Depends, I'll have to see how it goes. I don't want to have to put in any more work than I need to. So if I get good wind direction and it's able to draft some of the smoke out of my shelter, I might not throw any more on. That may end up becoming firewood. But I have a gap in there because I can always move it that way towards the fire reflector, but I don't want to have to keep moving it over here. There we go. Getting good flames out of it now. And if you want at any time, you can simply do things like this and just stake down the logs. Either side, whatever side you want to use. I'm going to just stake that down right there, so it sort of guarantees me in a way that it won't sort of roll towards me. Well, it should be a real beautiful evening and beautiful night out here. Just got a small can of chili and some peanuts. I'll be snacking on those. And just going to enjoy the forest. Using this piece of bark right here gives it a good platform, a nice platform to work on. I don't have things rolling off, and it gives me a little bit of time, before I reach these bigger logs on the bottom. So far, so good. If I run into any issues, I can take these off and just flip it in the back, keep the stakes on, and stake it down so I don't have any wind blowing this flat back and forth. So I can get this fire essentially, as large as I want it right here, just by moving this out of the way. All right, thanks for watching. Take care.